Chosen ones, an emergency update is unfolding right now. A major battle is being fought over you, and God Himself has declared that His angels are fighting on your behalf. You're not just standing in the middle of a storm, you're the reason the heavens are shaking. Forces of light and darkness are clashing, and your name, your purpose, your destiny are at the center of it all. This is no ordinary moment. This is a divine collision, a cosmic war where the angels of God are wielding swords of fire to protect you, to clear your path, to ensure that no weapon formed against you will prosper. You're not alone in this fight. Heaven's armies are with you, and they're moving mountains to secure your victory. Right now, pause for a second. Feel that energy in your chest, that stirring in your soul. That's not fear. It's the resonance of divine protection surrounding you. The angels aren't just watching. They're in the trenches, battling forces you can't see, dismantling every plan set against you. God has sent His mightiest warriors to guard your steps, to shield your heart, and to push back the darkness that dares to challenge His chosen one. You've felt the weight of this battle, haven't you? The sleepless nights, the sudden challenges, the whispers of doubt that creep in. But those aren't random. They're signs of the enemy's desperation, knowing they're losing ground because you're marked by God for something extraordinary. This battle isn't about your past mistakes or your current struggles. It's about your future. The enemy sees the light God has placed in you, the purpose you're stepping into, and they're terrified. They know that once you fully embrace who you are, a chosen one, a beacon of divine truth, no force in heaven or hell can stop you. That's why this fight is raging. The angels are clearing the way, breaking chains, and opening doors that no one can shut. Your life is shifting right now, even if you can't see it yet. Every prayer you've whispered, every tear you've shed, every moment you chose faith over fear, those are the weapons God is using to win this war for you. Before we go deeper, take a moment to claim this moment. Hit that like button to send a signal to the universe that you're standing firm in this battle. Drop a 777 inches the comments below to declare that you're aligned with God's divine plan. That number carries the power of spiritual perfection, a sign that you're ready to receive the victory God has already won. And if you're feeling this truth resonate, subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls walking this path together. Your presence here isn't by chance, it's by divine appointment. Picture this: a battlefield stretched across the heavens, where angels with wings of fire stand guard over you. Their swords clash against shadows, their voices thunder with authority, and their eyes are fixed on you, the one God has called by name. The enemy thought they could overwhelm you, thought they could dim your light with fear or confusion. But they didn't count on God's angels, who move with precision and power, tearing down every obstacle in your path. You're not just a bystander in this war, you're the prize, the purpose, the reason the heavens are fighting so fiercely. God has declared you His own, and no force can undo that. You might be wondering why this battle feels so intense. Maybe you've faced setbacks that don't make sense, financial struggles, broken relationships, or moments where you felt like giving up. Those aren't accidents. They're attacks from an enemy that knows your breakthrough is near. But here's the truth: every challenge you've faced is proof of your calling. The enemy doesn't waste time on those who don't threaten their plans. They're coming after you because God has marked you for greatness. The angels are fighting to protect that destiny, to ensure that every promise God made over your life comes to pass. Think about David, a shepherd boy facing Goliath. The odds were stacked against him, the enemy towering and fierce. But God's hand was on David, and no giant could stand in the way of His plan. You're in a similar fight right now. The giants in your life: doubt, fear, lack seem massive, but they're no match for the angels God has sent to defend you. Those angels aren't just fighting for you, they're fighting with you, amplifying your faith, strengthening your resolve. Every step you take in trust is a blow against the enemy, a declaration that you will not be moved. Let's make this real. Drop a 777 inches the comments right now to affirm that you're standing with God's angels in this battle. That number isn't just a symbol, it's a spiritual marker, a reminder that God's perfect plan is unfolding in your life. You're not fighting alone. The heavens are roaring, and the enemy is trembling because they know the tide is turning. Your victory is already written, sealed by the hand of God Himself. This war isn't just about you surviving, it's about you thriving. God didn't create you to scrape by, to live in fear, or to shrink under pressure. He created you to rise, to shine, to walk in abundance and purpose. The angels are clearing the path for your financial breakthrough, for relationships that align with your destiny, for health that radiates from your spirit to your body. The enemy wants you to focus on the chaos, but God wants you to see the victory. Every battle you're facing is a setup for a miracle, a chance for God to show the world what happens when His chosen one stands firm. Consider Esther, a woman who stepped into a royal court filled with danger and deception. The enemy plotted to destroy her people, but God's hand was on her. She didn't fight with swords or armies. She fought with courage, prayer, and trust in God's timing. The angels were at work, turning the enemy's plans against them, and Esther's faith led to a victory that saved a nation. You're walking in that same power right now. The angels are aligning circumstances, shifting hearts, and opening doors you didn't even know existed. Your faith is the key that unlocks their work. You might feel like the battle is wearing you down, but let me tell you something. You're stronger than you know. Every time you choose to keep going, every time you pray instead of panic, every time you trust God over your circumstances, you're winning. The angels see your resilience, and they're amplifying it. They're carrying your prayers to the throne of God, turning your whispers into thunder. The enemy thought they could break you, but they didn't realize you're backed by a heavenly army that never loses. Drop another 777 inches the comments to seal this truth in your spirit. Let the heavens know you're claiming your place in this battle, that you're ready to walk in the victory God has prepared. This isn't just a moment, it's a turning point. The angels are fighting for your dreams, your purpose, your peace. They're dismantling every lie, every chain, every plan set against you. You're not just surviving this war, you're stepping into a new season of power and provision. The enemy's greatest mistake was underestimating you. They thought they could distract you, make you doubt your worth, or pull you away from God's plan. But you're not like everyone else. You're a chosen one, marked by divine purpose, shielded by divine protection. The angels aren't just fighting to keep you safe. They're fighting to propel you forward. Every step you take is a step toward the life God promised, a life of abundance, joy, and unshakable peace. The enemy sees it coming, and that's why they're throwing everything at you. But they're too late. The victory is already yours. Look at Daniel in the lion's den. The world saw a man doomed to die, but God saw His chosen one. Angels shut the mouths of the lions, turning a death sentence into a testimony. That's what's happening in your life right now. The things that were meant to destroy you are becoming your greatest story. The angels are shutting the mouths of your giants, silencing the lies, and paving the way for your breakthrough. You're not just going to walk out of this battle, you're going to walk out shining, a living testament to God's power. This battle is personal. but it's also bigger than you. Your victory isn't just for you, it's for everyone watching, everyone who needs to see what happens when God's chosen one stands firm. The angels are fighting not just to protect you, but to make you a beacon of hope. Your life is a message to the world, a proof that God's promises never fail. When you rise from this battle, people will look at you and see the hand of God. They'll see the glow of someone who's been through the fire and come out stronger, brighter, unstoppable. One last time, drop a 777 inches the comments to declare that you're standing in this victory. Let the enemy know you're not backing down, and let the heavens know you're ready to receive what God has prepared. If this message is speaking to your soul, subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls standing together in faith. This battle is real, but so is your victory. The angels are fighting, and they're fighting for you. Right now, the heavens are moving in ways you can't fully grasp. Angels are shifting atmospheres, breaking strongholds, and aligning opportunities that will change your life. You might not see them with your eyes, but you can feel their presence. That sudden sense of peace in the middle of chaos, that's them. That unexpected door that opened when you thought all hope was lost, that's their work. God has dispatched his warriors to make sure you don't just make it through this battle. You come out transformed, radiant, and ready for the next chapter. Think about Moses at the Red Sea. The enemy was closing in. The situation looked impossible, but God's angels were at work. The sea parted, the path opened, and what seemed like the end became the beginning of a miracle. That's where you are right now. The things that looked like dead ends are about to split wide open. The angels are carving a path through your obstacles, leading you to a place of promise and provision. Your job is to keep walking, to keep trusting, to keep believing that God's plan is bigger than what you see. This battle isn't just about what's happening now, it's about what's coming. The enemy knows your future is bright, that God has plans to prosper you, to give you hope and a future. That's why they're fighting so hard. But they're no match for the angels God has sent. Those angels are tearing down walls, redirecting resources, and preparing a table for you in the presence of your enemies. Your breakthrough isn't just close, it's already in motion. The angels are making sure of it. You're not just a participant in this war, you're the reason it's being fought. God didn't choose you by accident. He saw your heart, your faith, your refusal to give up, and he said, "This one is mine." The angels are honoring that declaration, fighting with a ferocity that shakes the spiritual realm. Every time you choose faith, you're adding strength to their swords. Every time you stand firm, you're making the enemy tremble. This battle is yours to win, not because of your power, but because of the God who fights for you. The enemy wants you to think you're alone, that the weight of this battle is too much. But let me remind you, you're surrounded by a heavenly host. Angels are standing guard over your finances, your health, your relationships. They're whispering strength into your spirit, guiding your steps and blocking the enemy's attacks. You might feel the pressure, but you won't feel the collapse. God's angels are holding you up, ensuring that you come out of this stronger, wiser, and ready to step into the abundance waiting for you. Reflect on Paul and Silas, locked in a prison cell, surrounded by darkness. The enemy thought they had won, but the angels were there. When Paul and Silas prayed and sang praises, the ground shook, the chains broke, and the prison doors flew open. That's the kind of power at work in your life right now. Your prayers, your faith, your trust in God, they're shaking the foundations of every obstacle. The angels are moving and the chains are breaking. Your prison is about to become your platform. This battle is a turning point. Chosen one, The angels aren't just fighting to protect you. They're fighting to position you. God is using this war to refine you, to strip away what no longer serves you, to prepare you for a life of purpose and impact. The enemy's attacks are backfiring. Every lie they've told, every trap they've set, is being turned into a stepping stone for your destiny. The angels are making sure that what was meant for harm becomes your greatest testimony. You might be tired, but you're not defeated. You might be tested, but you're not broken. The angels are carrying you through this fire, and you're coming out shining like gold. The enemy thought they could dim your light, but they didn't know it was fueled by the Creator himself. Every step you take in faith is a victory. Every moment you choose hope is a blow against the darkness. The angels are cheering, God is smiling, and your breakthrough is closer than you think. This war is also a call to action, not to fight with your hands, but to stand firm in your spirit. The angels are doing the heavy lifting, but they need your faith to fuel their work. Keep praying, keep trusting, keep believing that God's promises are true. The enemy wants you to focus on the battle, but God wants you to focus on the victory. The angels are clearing the Christ way for a life of abundance, financial freedom, restored relationships, vibrant health. It's not just a dream, it's your destiny. Think of Elijah facing the prophets of Baal. The odds were against him. The enemy was loud and confident, but God's power was greater. The angels were at work, preparing the fire that would fall from heaven, proving that God was with his chosen one. That same fire is falling on your life right now. The angels are igniting your path, burning away the lies, and revealing the truth of who you are. You're not just fighting a battle, you're stepping into a divine showcase of God's glory. The enemy's greatest fear is your awakening. They know that once you fully realize who you are, a chosen one, backed by heaven's armies, nothing can stop you. The angels are fighting to make sure you step into that truth. They're dismantling every distraction, every doubt, every chain that's tried to hold you back. You're not just surviving this battle, you're being transformed by it. The person you're becoming is stronger, bolder, and ready to walk in the purpose God has set before you. This emergency update is a reminder. You're not alone, and you're not losing. The angels are fighting for you with a power that shakes the heavens. Every challenge you face is a sign that your breakthrough is near. God has called you by name, and his angels are ensuring that his plan for you comes to pass. Stand firm, chosen one. The battle is real, but the victory is yours. Keep your eyes on God and watch as the angels turn your trials into triumphs. Chosen ones, the battle raging over you is not just a clash of forces. It's a divine orchestration, a sacred moment where the angels are rewriting the story of your life. Picture a tapestry being woven in the heavens, each thread a prayer, a promise, a victory won in your name. The angels aren't just swinging swords, they're crafting a masterpiece, stitching together every moment of your struggle into a design that will shine for eternity. The enemy thought they could tear this tapestry apart, but God's angels are guarding every stitch, ensuring that your story ends in glory. You've felt the weight of this fight, haven't you? The moments when everything seems to go wrong at once, when the world feels heavy, when the path ahead looks blurry. Those aren't random, they're the enemy's last-ditch efforts to derail you. But the angels are moving faster, stronger, with a precision that cuts through chaos. They're not just protecting you, they're positioning you for a breakthrough that will leave the world in awe. Your life is about to become a living testimony, a proof that God's promises never fail, no matter how fierce the battle. Think about Joseph, sold into slavery, thrown into prison, forgotten by those he helped. The enemy thought they had him trapped, but the angels were at work, turning a pit into a palace. Every setback was a setup for a comeback. That's what's happening in your life right now. The angels are turning your pits into platforms, your prisons into promises. They're aligning people, resources, and opportunities to lift you higher than you ever imagined. The enemy's plans are crumbling, and your destiny is rising. Drop a 777 inches the comments right now to claim this shift. Let the heavens hear your faith. Let the enemy know you're standing tall. This number carries the power of divine completion, a sign that God's plan for you is coming full circle. The angels are working overtime, clearing the clutter, breaking the barriers, and paving a road straight to your purpose. You're not just in a battle, you're in a divine transition, moving from struggle to strength, from lack to abundance. This war is revealing something powerful about you. The enemy doesn't attack the ordinary, they go after the extraordinary. Every challenge you face is a sign that you carry something the world needs, something the darkness fears. The angels are fighting to protect that gift, to make sure it shines brighter than ever. You're not just a person, you're a purpose, a light that can't be dimmed, a force that can't be stopped. The heavens are roaring because you're stepping into who you were always meant to be. Consider Rahab, a woman the world overlooked, living in a city doomed to fall, yet her faith made her a key player in God's plan. The angels protected her, guided her, and turned her story into one of redemption. You're walking in that same favor right now. The world might not see your value yet, but the angels do. They're fighting to make sure your story isn't just one of survival, but one of triumph, a story that inspires generations. Your life is about to become a beacon of hope, a proof that God's love never fails. The enemy wants you to focus on the noise, the bills piling up, the relationships straining, the dreams that feel out of reach. But the angels are shifting your perspective. They're lifting your eyes to see the provision, the healing, the breakthroughs that are already on their way. You're not defined by what's against you. You're defined by who's for you. God's angels are clearing the fog, showing you the path to abundance, to peace, to a life that reflects His glory. Trust them. Trust Him. Your victory is closer than you think. This battle is also a refining fire. The angels aren't just fighting the enemy. They're purifying you, burning away doubt, fear, and anything that holds you back. Every tear you've cried, every moment you felt alone, has been seen by the heavens. The angels are collecting those tears, turning them into strength, forging you into someone unstoppable. You're not just surviving this war, you're being shaped by it, molded into a vessel of divine purpose, ready to carry God's light into the world. Look at Job, a man who lost everything: his wealth, his family, his health. The enemy thought they had broken him, but the angels were there, watching, waiting for God's command. When the time came, Job's restoration was greater than his loss. That's the kind of turnaround the angels are fighting for in your life. They're not just defending you, they're preparing a double portion of blessing, a restoration that will leave you speechless. The enemy's attacks are temporary, but God's promises are eternal. You might be wondering how to stand firm in this storm. It's not about fighting harder, it's about trusting deeper. The angels are doing the heavy lifting, but they need your faith to fuel their work. Every time you choose hope over despair, you're giving them more power. Every time you pray instead of worry, you're strengthening their swords. The enemy wants you to think you're powerless, but you're not. You're a chosen one, backed by heaven's armies, and your faith is a weapon that shakes the spiritual realm. Think of the woman at the well, broken by her past, shunned by her community. Jesus saw her, spoke to her, and transformed her life in a single moment. The angels were there, aligning that encounter, making sure she stepped into her purpose. That's what they're doing for you right now. They're orchestrating divine meetings, unexpected opportunities, moments that will change everything. You're not just fighting a battle, you're walking into a divine appointment, a moment where God's plan for you becomes clear. The enemy's tactics are predictable. They use fear, doubt, and distraction to pull you away from your purpose. But the angels are one step ahead, countering every move, turning every attack into an opportunity. That job loss, it's a door to something better. That broken relationship, it's a chance to align with people who lift you up. The angels are working behind the scenes, making sure every setback becomes a setup for something greater. You're not losing ground, you're gaining glory. This battle is also a declaration. The angels are proclaiming your name in the heavens, announcing that you're God's chosen one. Every time you stand firm, you're sending a message to the enemy. You can't have me. Every time you choose faith, you're telling the world that God's promises are true. The angels are amplifying that message, making sure it echoes through the spiritual realm. Your life is a testimony, a proof that no force can stop what God has started. Reflect on Nehemiah, rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem while enemies mocked and attacked. The angels were there, strengthening his hands, protecting his work. Despite the opposition, he finished the wall in record time, a miracle that silenced his critics. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are helping you rebuild what's been broken, strengthening your foundation, and silencing the voices that try to pull you down. Your walls are rising, and no enemy can tear them down. The angels aren't just fighting for your present, they're fighting for your legacy. This battle is about more than today. It's about the generations that will follow you. The breakthroughs you're about to experience will ripple through your family, your community, the world. The angels are ensuring that your victory isn't just personal, it's eternal. You're not just winning a fight, you're leaving a mark that will inspire others long after you're gone. You might feel like the battle is isolating, like you're facing it alone, but the angels are closer than you think. They're in the quiet moments, the sudden bursts of hope, the unexpected help that comes just when you need it. They're whispering courage into your spirit, guiding your decisions, protecting your heart. You're not alone in this war. God's angels are surrounding you, fighting with a love and power that nothing can match. Keep standing, keep believing, keep trusting. The victory is already yours. Chosen ones, this battle over your life is a divine signal, a cosmic flare sent from the heavens to remind you of your unshakable place in God's plan. The angels aren't just fighting to protect you, they're heralding a new chapter, one where every wound you've carried is transformed into wisdom, every scar into strength. Imagine a celestial council gathered around you, their voices echoing with authority, declaring that no force can rewrite what God has written for you. The enemy's schemes are unraveling, and the angels are ensuring that your story rises above the chaos, etched in light for all to see. You've walked through moments that felt like dead ends, times when the weight of the world pressed down, when hope seemed like a distant flicker. Those weren't accidents. They were tests, designed to forge you into a vessel of divine power. The angels are in the midst of this fire with you, fanning the flames of your resilience, turning every trial into a stepping stone. They're not just shielding you from harm, they're sculpting you into someone who can carry the weight of God's calling without breaking. Your strength is their victory, and they're fighting to make sure it shines. Think of Hannah, who prayed through years of barrenness, her heart heavy with unfulfilled dreams. The enemy mocked her, but the angels were listening. They carried her prayers to God, aligning the moment when her cries turned into the birth of Samuel, a prophet who changed a nation. That's the kind of shift the angels are orchestrating for you right now. Your unanswered prayers, your deepest longings, they're not forgotten. The angels are weaving them into a miracle that will echo through your life, turning your waiting into a powerful testimony. Drop a 777 inches the comments to anchor this truth in your spirit. Let the heavens know you're ready to step into the miracle God is preparing. This number isn't just a symbol, it's a declaration that you trust the angels' work, that you're aligned with God's perfect timing. If this message is stirring your soul, subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls standing together in faith. The angels are moving, and they're moving for you. Your breakthrough is being crafted in the heavens, and it's about to touch down. This war is a divine recalibration. The angels are resetting the scales, balancing every injustice, every loss, every moment you felt overlooked. They're not just fighting the enemy, they're restoring what was stolen, bringing back what the darkness tried to take. You might see lack right now, empty bank accounts, strained connections, fading dreams, but the angels see abundance. They're aligning resources, mending bonds, and reigniting visions that you thought were lost. This battle is God's way of showing you that nothing is too far gone for his redemption. Consider Lazarus, dead for 4 days, his story seemingly over. The enemy thought they had won, but the angels were there when Jesus called him out of the tomb. That same resurrection power is at work in your life. The angels are calling forth what you thought was dead, your confidence, your purpose, your hope. They're breathing life into places you gave up on, proving that God's timing is never late. What looks like an ending is just the beginning of a miracle, and the angels are making sure it happens. The enemy wants you to believe this battle is personal, that it's about your failures or flaws. But the angels are shouting a different truth. This fight is about your destiny. You're not being attacked because you're weak. You're being targeted because you're a threat to the darkness. The angels are fortifying your spirit, building walls of protection around your purpose. Every time you choose to stand, you're aligning with their mission, making it impossible for the enemy to gain ground. Your faith is their fuel, and they're burning bright for you. This battle is also a divine unveiling. The angels are pulling back the curtain, showing you the truth of who you are. You're not just a survivor, you're a conqueror, a light bearer, a chosen one with a calling that shakes the spiritual realm. The enemy sees it, and that's why they're desperate. But the angels are fiercer, tearing down every lie that tries to hide your identity. They're revealing the power within you, the strength God placed in your soul before you were born. You're stepping into a season where you'll see yourself as God sees you, unstoppable, radiant, chosen. Reflect on Gideon, a man who saw himself as the least, hiding from his enemies. The angels delivered God's message. You are a mighty warrior. They didn't just encourage him, they empowered him to lead an army to victory against impossible odds. That's what the angels are doing for you. They're speaking God's truth over you, calling out the warrior within. You might feel small, but the angels see your strength. They're fighting to make sure you see it too, to make sure you rise into the role God has prepared. The enemy's strategy is to keep you distracted, to make you focus on the storm instead of the one who calms it. But the angels are redirecting your gaze. They're pointing you to God's promises, to the truth that no battle can undo what he has planned. You're not fighting for victory, you're fighting from victory. The angels have already seen the end of this war, and they're guiding you to the finish line. Every step you take in faith is a step toward the life God promised. A life of peace, purpose, and provision. Think of the Israelites at Jericho, facing walls that seemed impenetrable. The angels were there, guiding their march, preparing the collapse of what stood in their way. Your walls, your obstacles, your fears are crumbling right now. The angels are circling your life, weakening the strongholds, making a way where there seems to be none. Your job is to keep marching, to keep trusting, to keep believing that God's plan is unfolding. The angels are ensuring that those walls fall and your path opens wide. This battle is a divine invitation. The angels are calling you to step deeper into your faith, to trust God in ways you never have before. They're not just fighting for you, they're teaching you how to stand in your own power. Every challenge you face is a chance to grow stronger, to lean harder on God, to become the person He created you to be. The angels are your trainers, your guides, your protectors, making sure you come out of this war not just victorious, but transformed. Look at Peter, who denied Jesus 3 times, crushed by his own failure. The angels were there when Jesus restored him, turning a broken man into the rock of the church. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are turning your failures into foundations, your mistakes into miracles. They're fighting to make sure you don't stay stuck in guilt or shame, but rise into the fullness of your calling. You're not defined by where you've been, you're defined by where God is taking you. The enemy wants you to think this battle is endless, that the fight will wear you down, but the angels are whispering a different truth. This war has an expiration date. God's promises don't. The angels are working to bring you into a season of rest, where the battles fade and the blessings overflow. They're fighting for your peace, your joy, your abundance. Every attack you face is a sign that the enemy is running out of time, and the angels are making sure you step into God's perfect plan. Consider Mary Magdalene, haunted by her past, yet chosen to be the first to see the risen Christ. The angels were there, announcing the resurrection, guiding her to her purpose. They're guiding you now, leading you to moments of divine revelation, where you see God's hand in every detail of your life. The angels are fighting to make sure you don't miss these moments, to make sure you step into the truth of who you are, a chosen one, loved, called, and destined for greatness. This battle is also a divine alignment. The angels are rearranging your life, moving pieces into place, connecting you with the people and opportunities God has prepared. They're not just fighting off the enemy, they're building bridges to your future. That unexpected call, that sudden idea, that spark of hope, those are the angels at work, aligning your path with God's purpose. You're not wandering through this war, you're being led, step by step, to a destiny that shines brighter than you can imagine. Chosen ones, this battle over you is a divine symphony, a celestial composition where every note is played by angels to herald your rise. The heavens are alive with their song, a melody of victory that drowns out the enemy's discord. Each clash of their swords, each shout of their voices, is a chord in the anthem of your destiny. The angels aren't just fighting, they're composing a masterpiece. With your life as the crescendo, the enemy thought they could silence you, but the angels are ensuring your story rings out, a testament to God's unshakable love. You've felt the tension of this war, haven't you? The moments when your heart races, when doubts creep in like shadows, when the world feels like it's pressing in from all sides. Those aren't just random struggles, they're the enemy's frantic attempts to disrupt the rhythm of God's plan. But the angels are keeping the beat, steady and strong, guiding you through the chaos with precision. They're not just defending you, they're tuning your spirit, aligning your steps with the harmony of heaven's purpose. Think of Noah, building an ark while the world laughed. The enemy mocked his faith, but the angels were there, guiding his hands, protecting his vision. They ensured every plank was placed, every nail driven, until the flood came and God's promise stood firm. That's what's happening in your life right now. The angels are helping you build something unshakable, a life of purpose, a legacy of faith. The world may not understand yet, but the angels are making sure your ark floats, carrying you to the promise God has spoken. This war is a divine excavation. The angels are digging deep, unearthing the treasures hidden within you, gifts, strengths, dreams you've buried under years of doubt or pain. The enemy wants to keep those treasures buried, to make you forget who you are. But the angels are relentless, pulling back the layers, revealing the brilliance God placed in you from the start. They're not just fighting off attacks, they're uncovering the masterpiece you were created to be, polished by every trial, shining brighter with every step. Consider Ruth, a widow in a foreign land, her future uncertain. The enemy saw her as insignificant, but the angels saw her destiny. They guided her to Boaz's field, aligning her steps with God's plan, turning her loss into a legacy that led to King David. That's the kind of divine navigation at work in your life. The angels are leading you to the right places, the right people, the right moments. You're not lost in this battle. You're being guided to a future that shines with God's favor. The enemy's attacks are loud, but the angels' work is louder. They're shouting your name in the heavens, declaring that you're God's chosen, marked for a purpose that can't be undone. Every lie the enemy tells, every obstacle they throw, is being dismantled by angelic hands. You might feel the weight of their schemes, but the angels are lifting that burden, replacing it with the lightness of God's truth. Your life is being reshaped, not by the enemy's chaos, but by the angels' divine order. This battle is a divine mirror. The angels are holding it up, showing you the reflection of who you are in God's eyes. The enemy wants you to see weakness, failure, unworthiness, but the angels are revealing the truth. You're a warrior, a light bearer, a chosen one with a fire that can't be extinguished. They're fighting to make sure you see this reflection clearly, to make sure you step into the identity God has given you. Every time you choose faith, you're polishing that mirror, letting your true self shine through. Look at Deborah, a prophetess leading Israel in a time of oppression. The enemy thought they could crush her people, but the angels empowered her wisdom, her courage. She didn't just fight, she led with divine authority, turning a nation's fear into victory. That's what the angels are doing for you. They're not just protecting you, they're empowering you to lead, to inspire, to rise above the battle with a strength that comes from God. You're not just surviving, you're becoming a beacon of His power. The enemy wants you to think this war is about your limits, but the angels are showing you it's about your potential. They're fighting to unlock the boundless possibilities God has placed in you. That dream you've held onto, that vision you've carried through the storm, the angels are guarding it, nurturing it, making sure it grows. They're not just keeping the enemy at bay, they're planting seeds for your future, watering them with God's promises, ensuring they bloom into something extraordinary. Think of Jonah, swallowed by the depths, running from God's call. The enemy thought they had him trapped, but the angels were there, guiding the fish, preparing the path for his redemption. That's what's happening in your life. Even when you feel swallowed by circumstances, the angels are working, turning your detours into divine routes. They're fighting to make sure you reach the purpose God has set, no matter how far you've wandered or how deep the darkness feels. This battle is a divine forge. The angels are shaping you in the heat of the fight, hammering out impurities, crafting you into a weapon of light. The enemy's attacks are the sparks flying off the anvil, but the angels are the master smiths, ensuring every strike makes you stronger. You're not being broken, you're being refined, molded into someone who can carry God's glory without crumbling. The angels are fighting to make sure you emerge from this war, not just whole, but radiant, ready to shine. Consider Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego thrown into a fiery furnace. The enemy thought the flames would consume them, but the angels walked with them in the fire, untouched by the heat. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are walking with you through the flames, ensuring you come out without even the smell of smoke. The enemy's fire is no match for God's protection, and the angels are making sure your testimony shines brighter than the blaze. The enemy wants you to focus on the wounds of this battle, but the angels are turning those wounds into wisdom. Every hurt, every betrayal, every moment of pain is being transformed into a well of strength you can draw from. The angels are fighting to make sure you don't carry scars, but stories. Stories of God's faithfulness, of His power, of His love. They're weaving these experiences into a tapestry that will inspire others, a proof that God's chosen ones rise above every attack. This war is a divine chessboard. The angels are master strategists, moving pieces you can't yet see, countering every move the enemy makes. That unexpected help, that sudden clarity, that moment of peace in the storm, those are the angels' moves, setting you up for victory. The enemy thinks they're in control, but the angels are playing a game far beyond their reach. You're not a pawn in this battle. You're the king, protected by heaven's forces, destined to win. Look at Elisha, surrounded by an enemy army, his servant trembling in fear. But Elisha saw what others couldn't, the hills full of angelic chariots, ready to fight. That's the reality around you right now. The angels are surrounding you, outnumbering every threat, ready to move at God's command. You might feel overwhelmed, but the angels see the victory. They're fighting to open your eyes, to show you the heavenly army standing with you, ensuring your triumph. This battle is a divine awakening. The angels are stirring your spirit, calling you to rise into the fullness of your calling. They're not just fighting off the enemy. They're igniting a fire within you, a passion for God's purpose that burns brighter than any attack. You're not just enduring this war, you're being awakened to the power you carry, the light you shine, the destiny you're meant to fulfill. The angels are fighting to make sure you step into that awakening with boldness and faith. Chosen ones, this battle over you is a divine proclamation, a heavenly decree that echoes through the spiritual realm, announcing your unshakable place in God's eternal plan. The angels are not just wielding swords, they're raising banners in your name, staking claim to your destiny with every clash against the darkness. The enemy thought they could rewrite your story, but the angels are ensuring every chapter aligns with God's purpose, written in ink that no force can erase. You're not just a participant in this war, you're the reason it's being fought, the centerpiece of a divine narrative unfolding in real time. You've sensed the intensity of this fight, haven't you? Those moments when the air feels thick with resistance, when every step forward feels like pushing through a storm. Those aren't random, they're the enemy's desperate attempts to block the light you carry. But the angels are cutting through that resistance, their wings casting a shield over you, their voices drowning out the noise. They're not just protecting your path, they're illuminating it, showing you the way to a future where every promise God made comes alive. Think of Abraham, called to leave everything familiar for a land he didn't know. The enemy whispered doubt, but the angels walked with him, guiding his steps, ensuring he reached the promise. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are leading you through uncharted territory, past the doubts and fears, to a place of fulfillment. The enemy wants you to cling to what's familiar, but the angels are calling you to trust God's voice, to step boldly into the unknown where your destiny waits. This war is a divine renovation. The angels are tearing down the walls you've built around your heart, walls of fear, shame, or self-doubt. They're not just fighting the enemy. They're rebuilding you, brick by brick, into a temple of God's glory. Every attack you've faced is a chance for the angels to replace weakness with strength, uncertainty with certainty. They're crafting a version of you that stands taller, shines brighter, and walks with a confidence that comes from knowing God is at work within you. Consider Mary, the mother of Jesus, a young woman facing a call that seemed impossible. The enemy tried to sow fear, but the angel Gabriel delivered God's message, and heaven's forces ensured she carried it out. That same divine support is surrounding you now. The angels are delivering God's promises to your heart, strengthening you to carry the purpose He's placed within you. You're not just fighting a battle, you're birthing a miracle, and the angels are making sure it comes to pass. The enemy wants you to see this war as chaos, but the angels are revealing its order. Every challenge, every setback, is part of a divine blueprint, carefully designed to shape you into who God created you to be. The angels are architects, working with precision to ensure every piece of your life fits together perfectly. That unexpected delay, that closed door, they're not accidents. They're the angels redirecting you, guiding you to a path that leads to abundance, peace, and purpose. This battle is a divine spotlight. The angels are shining it on you, highlighting the strength you didn't know you had, the faith that's carried you through. The enemy wants you to stay in the shadows, to doubt your worth, but the angels are pulling you into the light. They're fighting to make sure you see yourself as God does, a chosen one, radiant with His love, destined for greatness. Every time you choose to stand, you're stepping into that spotlight, letting the world see the power of God in you. Look at Joshua, standing before the Jordan River, tasked with leading a nation into the unknown. The enemy wanted him to falter, but the angels were there, parting the waters, guiding his steps. That's what they're doing for you, clearing the rivers, removing the barriers, making a way where none seems possible. You're not just crossing a river, you're stepping into a promised land, a life where God's blessings overflow, and the angels are ensuring you get there. The enemy's attacks are like smoke, clouding your vision, trying to make you lose your way. But the angels are a divine wind, blowing away the haze, revealing the truth of God's plan. They're not just fighting for your survival, they're fighting for your clarity, making sure you see the path ahead with unshakable certainty. That moment of insight, that sudden understanding, those are the angels at work, sharpening your focus, aligning your heart with God's purpose. Think of Samuel, a boy called by God in the middle of the night. The enemy wanted to silence his voice, but the angels amplified it, making him a prophet who spoke God's truth. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are amplifying your voice, your gifts, your purpose. They're fighting to make sure the world hears what God has placed in you. You're not just in a battle, you're being raised up as a voice for this generation, a light that can't be ignored. This war is a divine recalibration. The angels are adjusting the frequency of your life, tuning you to resonate with God's will. The enemy wants to keep you off key, trapped in discord, but the angels are restoring harmony. They're aligning your thoughts, your actions, your dreams with the rhythm of heaven, that sense of peace that comes out of nowhere, that spark of hope in the dark. Those are the angels, fine-tuning your spirit, preparing you for a life that sings with God's glory. Consider David, facing Saul's jealousy and pursuit. The enemy wanted to destroy him, but the angels protected him, guiding him through caves and battles until he became king. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are guiding you through the wilderness, protecting you from every spear thrown your way. You're not just escaping danger, you're being led to a throne, a place of authority and purpose that God has prepared for you. The enemy wants you to think this battle is about punishment, but the angels are declaring it's about promotion. Every trial you face is a step up, a chance to rise higher in God's plan. The angels are fighting to lift you above the chaos, to place you in a position where your light shines for all to see. That struggle you're facing isn't a setback, it's a setup for a comeback, a chance for God to show the world what He can do through His chosen one. This battle is a divine gallery. The angels are curating a display of God's faithfulness, with your life as the centerpiece. Every victory, every moment you've stood firm, is a brushstroke in a masterpiece that will inspire others. The enemy wants to paint you as defeated, but the angels are using vibrant colors, hope, faith, resilience, to show the world who you really are. You're not just fighting a war, you're becoming a work of art, a testament to God's power and love. Look at Esther, standing before a king to save her people. The enemy plotted her failure, but the angels orchestrated her triumph, turning a moment of risk into a legacy of salvation. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are turning your risks into rewards, your fears into faith, your battles into breakthroughs. You're not just surviving, you're stepping into a story that will be told for generations, a proof that God's chosen ones always rise. This war is a divine rhythm. The angels are teaching you to move with God's timing, to dance through the storm with grace. The enemy wants you to stumble, to lose your step, but the angels are guiding your feet, keeping you in sync with heaven's beat. That moment when everything falls into place, when the pieces of your life suddenly make sense, those are the angels leading you in a dance that leads to victory. You're not just fighting, you're moving to the music of God's purpose. And the angels are your choreographers. Chosen ones, this battle over you is a divine uprising, a celestial rebellion where the angels are storming the gates of darkness to secure your destiny. The heavens are ablaze with their fervor. Each angelic shout a declaration that you are untouchable, marked by God for a purpose that cannot be undone. The enemy thought they could chain you to fear, but the angels are breaking every shackle, setting you free to rise into the fullness of who you were created to be. This war isn't just about survival. It's about your ascension, a moment where you step into a higher calling, backed by heaven's might. You've felt the pressure of this fight, haven't you? Those days when the world feels like it's closing in, when every decision seems heavy, when the future looks like a faint shadow. Those moments aren't random, they're the enemy's attempt to drown out the sound of your victory. But the angels are louder, their voices piercing through the noise, calling you to stand firm. They're not just guarding you, they're lifting you, carrying you above the storm, ensuring you see the horizon where God's promises wait. Think of Ezekiel, standing in a valley of dry bones, surrounded by death and despair. The enemy thought the story was over, but the angels carried God's breath, bringing life where there was none. That's what's happening in your life right now. The angels are breathing life into your dreams, your hopes, your future. They're turning what looks dead into something vibrant, proving that God's power can revive anything. You're not standing in a valley, you're standing on the edge of a miracle, and the angels are making it happen. This war is a divine blueprint. The angels are drafting plans in the heavens, mapping out every step of your journey with precision. The enemy wants you to see chaos, but the angels are showing you order, a design where every trial has a purpose, every setback a strategy. They're not just fighting off attacks, they're building a foundation for your future, laying bricks of faith, courage, and trust. That moment when a new opportunity appears, when a door opens unexpectedly, those are the angels, following God's blueprint to lead you to abundance. Consider Miriam watching her brother Moses float down the Nile. The enemy wanted him dead, but the angels guided that basket, placing him in the hands of a princess. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are guiding you through dangerous waters, ensuring you land exactly where God intends. You're not drifting aimlessly. You're being steered toward a destiny that shines with His favor. The enemy's plans are sinking, and the angels are keeping you afloat. The enemy wants you to think this battle is about your weakness, but the angels are proving it's about your strength. They're fighting to show you the power God has placed in you, the resilience that carries you through fire. Every time you choose to keep going, you're aligning with their mission, amplifying their work. The enemy's lies are crumbling under the weight of your faith, and the angels are cheering, knowing that each step you take is a blow against the darkness. You're not just enduring, you're conquering. This battle is a divine mosaic. The angels are gathering the broken pieces of your life, every hurt, every loss, every moment you felt discarded, and turning them into a work of art. The enemy wants you to see fragments, but the angels see a masterpiece. They're fitting each piece together, creating a picture of God's faithfulness that will leave the world in awe. That moment when you feel a spark of hope, when you see beauty in your pain, those are the angels crafting a story that reflects His glory. Look at John the Baptist, a voice crying in the wilderness, preparing the way for Jesus. The enemy tried to silence him, but the angels amplified his message, making it echo through history. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are amplifying your voice, your purpose, your light. They're fighting to make sure your message reaches those who need it, turning your life into a beacon that guides others to God. You're not just fighting a battle, you're preparing the way for something greater. The enemy's attacks are like a fog, trying to obscure your path, but the angels are a divine light, cutting through the haze. They're not just protecting you, they're revealing the truth of God's plan, showing you the steps to take, the choices to make. That sudden clarity, that moment when you know what to do, those are the angels, illuminating your way, ensuring you walk with confidence. The enemy's fog is no match for their light, and you're moving closer to your destiny with every step. Think of Hezekiah, facing an army that outnumbered his own. The enemy mocked his faith, but the angels moved in the night, turning the tide in his favor. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are working in the unseen, shifting the odds, making a way where none seems possible. You're not facing this battle alone. They're moving mountains, changing circumstances, ensuring your victory. Your faith is the key that unlocks their power, and they're fighting to make sure you win. This war is a divine echo. The angels are sending ripples through the spiritual realm, each one carrying the sound of God's promises over your life. The enemy wants to drown out that sound with fear and doubt, but the angels are making it louder, clearer, unstoppable. They're fighting to ensure you hear God's voice above the chaos, to remind you that His word never returns void. That moment when a scripture comes alive, when a promise feels real, those are the angels, echoing God's truth in your heart. Consider Elizabeth, barren and overlooked, yet chosen to carry John the Baptist. The enemy wanted her to believe her time had passed, but the angels delivered God's promise, turning her shame into joy. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are turning your barren places into places of abundance, your shame into celebration. They're fighting to make sure every promise God made comes to pass, proving that His timing is perfect, even when the world says it's too late. The enemy wants you to think this battle is a punishment, but the angels are declaring it's a preparation. They're fighting to ready you for the next season, to equip you with the strength, wisdom, and faith you'll need. Every challenge is a training ground, every trial a lesson in trust. The angels are your coaches, pushing you to grow, to stretch, to become the person God sees. You're not just surviving this war, you're being prepared for a life of impact, a life that changes the world. This battle is a divine compass. The angels are pointing you north, guiding you through the storm to the place God has prepared. The enemy wants you to wander, to lose your way, but the angels are keeping you on course. They're not just fighting off attacks, they're directing your steps, ensuring you don't stray from God's path. That gut feeling, that nudge to act, to pray, to move, those are the angels, steering you toward your purpose, keeping you aligned with heaven's direction. Look at Paul, shipwrecked, bitten by a snake, yet unstoppable in his mission. The enemy wanted him dead, but the angels protected him, turning every disaster into a testimony. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are turning your shipwrecks into stories of survival, your bites into badges of faith. They're fighting to make sure every attack becomes a stepping stone, leading you closer to the life God promised, a life of purpose, power, and provision. This war is a divine spark. The angels are igniting something new within you, a fire that burns away doubt and lights up your future. The enemy wants to smother that spark, to keep you in the dark, but the angels are fanning it into a flame. They're fighting to make sure your passion, your vision, your calling burns brighter than ever. That moment when you feel alive, when your purpose feels clear, those are the angels, kindling the fire of God's plan in your heart, ensuring it never goes out. Chosen ones, this battle over you is a divine coronation, a heavenly ceremony where the angels are crowning you with God's authority and purpose. The heavens are ablaze with their celebration, each swing of their swords a proclamation that you are royalty in God's kingdom. The enemy thought they could strip you of your birthright, but the angels are placing a crown on your head, ensuring you walk in the power and dignity God ordained. This war isn't just about fighting off darkness, it's about you stepping into the throne room of your destiny, anointed for greatness. You've felt the weight of this moment, haven't you? Those times when you sense something bigger calling you, when the struggles seem to carry a deeper meaning. Those aren't random, they're the enemy's attempts to keep you from your throne. But the angels are clearing the way, their wings sweeping aside every obstacle, their voices heralding your rise. They're not just protecting you, they're preparing you to rule, to walk with the confidence of someone chosen by God himself. Think of Joseph, thrown into a pit, sold as a slave, yet destined to govern Egypt. The enemy saw him as nothing, but the angels saw a ruler. They guided his steps, turning betrayal into blessing, prison into power. That's what's happening in your life right now. The angels are turning your pits into palaces, your trials into triumphs. They're fighting to make sure you step into the authority God has given you, a place where your voice carries weight, your actions shape futures. This war is a divine archive. The angels are recording every moment of your faith, every step you take in trust, etching them into the eternal story of God's faithfulness. The enemy wants to erase your name, to make you feel forgotten, but the angels are writing your legacy in heaven's books. They're not just fighting off attacks, they're preserving your testimony, ensuring every tear, every prayer, every victory is remembered. Your life is a chapter in God's story, and the angels are making sure it's unforgettable. Consider Daniel, thrown into a den of lions, his life seemingly at an end. The enemy wanted to silence him, but the angels shut the lions' mouths, turning a death sentence into a declaration of God's power. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are silencing the roars of your enemies, turning their threats into testimonies. You're not just surviving this battle, you're becoming a living proof of God's protection. a story that will inspire faith for generations. The enemy wants you to think this war is about defeat, but the angels are showing you it's about discovery. They're fighting to uncover the hidden strength within you, the gifts you've yet to fully embrace. Every challenge is a chance to find another piece of who you are, another spark of God's light in your soul. The angels are digging deep, pulling out courage, wisdom, and purpose, ensuring you step into this battle not as a victim, but as a victor, discovering their own power. This battle is a divine current. The angels are guiding you like a river, moving you through the rapids of this war toward a place of peace and provision. The enemy wants to dam up your flow, to trap you in stagnation. But the angels are keeping the waters moving. They're not just fighting off attacks, they're directing your course, ensuring you flow toward God's promises. That moment when you feel carried, when things start to align, those are the angels steering you toward your destiny. Look at Rebecca, chosen to be part of God's covenant, her future uncertain as she left her home. The enemy wanted her to doubt, but the angels guided her to Isaac, aligning her with God's plan. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are guiding you through uncertainty, leading you to the people and places God has prepared. You're not wandering through this battle. You're being led to a future where every promise comes alive, where your purpose shines. The enemy's attacks are like a storm, trying to knock you off course, but the angels are your anchor. They're grounding you in God's truth, keeping you steady when the winds howl. They're fighting to make sure you don't drift, that you stay rooted in faith. That moment when you feel unshaken, when peace holds you despite the chaos, those are the angels, anchoring your soul, ensuring you stand firm in the storm. Think of Jeremiah, called to speak truth in a rebellious land. The enemy wanted him to break, but the angels strengthened his voice, making his words a fire that burned through lies. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are strengthening your voice, your vision, your purpose. They're fighting to make sure you speak, act, and live with the authority God has given you. You're not just in a battle, you're becoming a fire, burning bright for God's glory. This war is a divine lens. The angels are focusing your vision, helping you see beyond the enemy's distractions to the truth of God's plan. They're not just fighting off lies, they're sharpening your sight, showing you the beauty of what's ahead. The enemy wants you to focus on the mess, but the angels are revealing the masterpiece. That moment when you see hope, when the future feels possible, those are the angels, adjusting your lens, helping you see God's promises clearly. Consider Sarah, who laughed at God's promise of a child in her old age. The enemy wanted her to stay in unbelief, but the angels carried God's word, turning her laughter into joy. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are turning your doubts into faith, your questions into answers. They're fighting to make sure you believe in the impossible, that you trust God's promises no matter how unlikely they seem. You're not just fighting, you're stepping into a miracle. The enemy wants you to think this battle is about your past, but the angels are declaring it's about your future. They're fighting to pull you forward, to keep you moving toward the life God has planned. Every attack is a sign that your breakthrough is near, that the enemy is desperate to stop what's coming. The angels are pushing you past the pain, past the fear, into a season where abundance, peace, and purpose overflow. You're not stuck. You're on the verge of something extraordinary. This battle is a divine forge. The angels are heating the raw material of your life, shaping it into something unbreakable. The enemy wants to shatter you, but the angels are using the fire to strengthen you. They're not just protecting you, they're crafting you into a weapon of light, a force that can't be stopped. That moment when you feel stronger, when you rise despite the pain, those are the angels, forging you into someone who carries God's glory with power. Look at Nehemiah, rebuilding Jerusalem's walls while enemies plotted against him. The angels strengthened his hands, silenced the mockers, and ensured the work was completed. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are helping you rebuild what's been broken, strengthening your resolve, silencing the voices that try to stop you. You're not just fighting a battle, you're building a legacy, a life that stands as a testament to God's faithfulness. This war is a divine rhythm. The angels are teaching you to move with God's timing, to step in sync with His plan. The enemy wants you to rush or hesitate, but the angels are setting the pace, ensuring you move when God says move. They're fighting to keep you aligned with heaven's beat, to make sure you don't miss a step. That moment when everything feels right, when your actions flow effortlessly, those are the angels guiding you in the dance of your destiny. Chosen ones, this battle over you is a divine tapestry, woven with threads of heaven's purpose, each stitch a testament to God's unwavering commitment to your destiny. The angels are not just clashing with darkness, they're threading together a story of triumph, with you as the central figure. The enemy thought they could unravel your life, but the angels are weaving every moment, every tear, every struggle into a design that radiates God's glory. This war isn't just about standing firm, it's about becoming a living masterpiece, a reflection of heaven's artistry. You've felt the pull of this fight, haven't you? Those moments when the ground beneath you feels unsteady, when the weight of uncertainty presses hard. Those aren't chance occurrences, they're the enemy's frantic efforts to fray the edges of your faith. But the angels are master weavers, their hands steady, their focus unshaken. They're not just shielding you, they're stitching your courage, your hope, into a fabric so strong no force can tear it apart. Your life is becoming a work of art, crafted by divine hands. Think of Jacob, wrestling with an angel through the night. His body strained, his heart tested. The enemy wanted him to give up, but the angel blessed him, renaming him Israel, a name that carried God's promise. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are wrestling with you, not to break you, but to rename you, to call out the identity God has given you. You're not just fighting, you're being transformed into someone whose name echoes in eternity, a chosen one marked by divine purpose. This war is a divine compass. The angels are pointing you true north, guiding you through the wilderness of this battle to the heart of God's plan. The enemy wants you to lose your way, to wander in circles of doubt. But the angels are keeping you on course. They're not just fighting off attacks, they're aligning your steps with heaven's direction, ensuring you reach the destination God has set. That sudden sense of clarity, that nudge to move forward, those are the angels steering you toward your promised land. Consider Hagar, alone in the desert, her hope fading. The enemy wanted her to perish, but an angel found her, showing her a well of water and a future of promise. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are finding you in your desert places, revealing wells of strength, hope, and provision. They're fighting to make sure you see the life God has planned, even when the world feels barren. You're not lost, you're being led to a place of abundance. The enemy wants you to believe this battle is about your flaws, but the angels are shouting it's about your future. They're fighting to pull you past the lies, past the shame, into a season where God's promises shine bright. Every attack is a sign the enemy knows your breakthrough is near, that your light is about to blaze. The angels are clearing the path, dismantling every obstacle, ensuring you step into a life of purpose, peace, and power. You're not falling, you're rising. This battle is a divine kaleidoscope. The angels are turning the pieces of your life, shifting every fragment of pain and struggle into a pattern of beauty. The enemy wants you to see brokenness, but the angels are revealing a masterpiece, each piece reflecting God's light. They're not just protecting you, they're rearranging your story, showing you how every moment fits into His plan. That spark of joy, that glimpse of hope, those are the angels, turning your trials into a vision of glory. Look at Moses, standing before a burning bush, his past marked by failure. The enemy wanted him to stay a fugitive, but an angel spoke through the flames, calling him to lead a nation. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are speaking through the fires of your trials, calling you to step into leadership, to embrace your purpose. You're not just surviving this battle, you're being summoned to a mission that will change lives, starting with your own. The enemy's attacks are like a shadow, trying to dim your light, but the angels are a divine dawn, breaking through with rays of truth. They're fighting to make sure you shine, to ensure the world sees the radiance God has placed in you. That moment when you feel seen, when your heart lifts despite the fight, those are the angels, ushering in a new day for your life. The shadows are fading, and your light is growing stronger with every step. Think of Rahab, hiding spies in a city doomed to fall. The enemy wanted her destroyed, but the angels protected her, turning her faith into a legacy of salvation. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are protecting your faith, turning your small acts of courage into a legacy that will outlast this battle. You're not just fighting, you're building a story that will inspire others, a proof that God's chosen ones always triumph. This war is a divine crucible. The angels are refining you in the heat of this fight, burning away what doesn't belong, leaving only what's pure and strong. The enemy wants to consume you, but the angels are using the fire to shape you into something unbreakable. They're not just shielding you, they're forging you into a vessel of God's power, ready to carry His light into the world. That moment when you feel stronger, when you rise above the pain, those are the angels, crafting you into gold. Consider Elisha's servant, terrified by an enemy army, until his eyes were opened to see the hills filled with angelic chariots. The enemy wanted him to fear, but the angels revealed God's protection. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are opening your eyes, showing you the heavenly forces surrounding you. You're not alone in this battle. You're backed by an army that never loses, fighting to ensure your victory shines bright. The enemy wants you to think this war is about loss, but the angels are declaring it's about legacy. They're fighting to make sure your life leaves a mark, a story of faith that echoes through generations. Every challenge you face is a chance to build something eternal, something that shows the world God's power. The angels are preserving your legacy, ensuring every step you take plants seeds for a harvest that will outlast you. You're not just surviving, you're sowing a future of hope. This battle is a divine echo chamber. The angels are amplifying your prayers, your faith, your trust in God, making them resound through the heavens. The enemy wants to silence you, but the angels are turning your whispers into roars. They're not just fighting off attacks, they're making sure your voice reaches God's throne, that your cries become a symphony of victory. That moment when you feel heard, when your prayers feel powerful, those are the angels echoing your heart to heaven. Look at Anna, the prophetess who waited decades in the temple, her life a testament to faith. The enemy wanted her to give up, but the angels sustained her, leading her to see the Messiah. That's what's happening in your life. The angels are sustaining you through the waiting, leading you to the moment when God's promise is fulfilled. You're not just fighting, you're being prepared to witness a miracle, to stand in the presence of God's glory. This war is a divine prism. The angels are refracting God's light through you, turning your life into a spectrum of His grace, love, and power. The enemy wants to dull your shine, but the angels are ensuring every angle of your life reflects God's beauty. They're fighting to make sure you radiate His truth, that your presence draws others to Him. That moment when someone sees hope in you, when your life inspires, those are the angels, making you a prism of God's light.